Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Godot community. I'm your host, Sarah Rising, and I'll be moderating this group. This is the Elementary Visual Arts PLC neighborhood. This is a place where I hope we can gather together and share ideas and learn from each other. And in this October issue of this webinar, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about clay. It's such a broad concept, so I'm going to focus a little bit more today on slab and storing of the tools and some other information. I've broken it down into 3 sections, and today I will share with you some resources and videos. So sit back and enjoy the show. Also, I will include the link to the PowerPoint presentation. There are lots of articles that I've linked in here. I'm not going to present every single article because that would be boring. And you can come back and read that at your leisure. We're trying to keep this issue under 10 minutes, and then you can go back and read the others at your convenience. So remember to subscribe so you don't miss any posts, and come back and check things out here often. And then also be prepared to share some of your ideas and experiences as well. All right, here we go. So like I said, Clay in the Art Room, Part 1, resources, tools, and tips. I've divided this episode into 3 parts: tips you can use along with resource links, a video demo on how to store and set up your clay tools, and then the discussion question that will guide us in the end. Before I get started, I want to say I know not everybody is using the earthenware clay in their classrooms. Some of us, the schedule doesn't work, budgets don't work. So even though this is for earthenware clay, please remember that some of the takeaway from this you can also use if you're trying maybe polymer clays or some of the other modeling clays that are air dried. And so don't be afraid to look into these things, because there are also some applications that you can use if you're using clay that doesn't necessarily have to go in the kiln. All right, with that said, first article I've got for you guys is 4 essential things you need to know about clay. This particular article talks about keeping things clean, how to minimize the dust, and keep things moving as we are changing classes rather quickly. So come back at your leisure. As I said, the links are provided, as you can see. So just come back, look at the presentation, and read on. The next article I've included is a blog post from an art teacher that I've followed for a while. Looking at this, I can see that it's from, oh my gosh, almost 7 years ago, but still lots of relevant details here. I like to pose the question, how do you feel about working with clay in the art room? Some of us are scared, some of us are terrified, some of us love it and can't wait for that moment, and then some of us fall in between. So if you get a chance, come in here, and she talks about how and why we should be teaching this, simply because the kids love working with clay, building something permanent that they have and that they can have for a really, really long time. So again, come back and check it out when you get a chance. This article I have included because there are lots of good tidbits in here for using carts and totes. This teacher has generously shared ideas for keeping our clay wet and storing the clay. Sometimes we have time in between classes to go on to a second day of building. Sometimes we've got to get everything done in a day. So there's some good pointers in here. And then she talks a little bit about glazing and student use of tools and the ever struggle of getting names on the kids' art. We all know that we have a hard enough time with them getting their names on their papers. And with clay, she's got some great ideas in here to share with you how you can make sure that the kids identify their clay and get the piece back that they indeed did create. All right, the next section that I've got for you, I've got 6 articles here on storage and organization. And again, all you need to do is click on the links. We've got a little bit here about storing clay, how to teach hundreds of students while staying organized, stressing and avoiding that during clay, and the secret to keeping slip cups clean and usable. Those things dry out faster than you can blink an eye, and then you got to start over again. So again, come back and check this out. And I've also included a little tidbit on clay curriculum. Also, I wanted to get a plug-in for the Godot website. We do have lots of links in there with teacher-created resources. There's resources, there are art lessons for clay. So although I didn't include the link here, go back to the Godot website, look at the fine arts and the visual arts section, and check out those sections on lessons. Also in here, you'll find secrets to successful one-day clay projects, which we all love. What can you do with a pinch pot? The clay curriculum, some ideas from other teachers, and how to scaffold your curriculum with ease. So creating a visual scaffold so you can see what your kids start at and where they are by the time they leave you in 5th grade. It's a great idea there. All right, this page I included lots of the clay tools, and I wanted to put this visual in here to let you guys know, and you probably are already doing this, but you don't necessarily have to blow your budget and go out and buy all of these official expensive clay tools. As we all know, there are lots of ways that we create hacks to do the same thing we need to do without buying things like this. If you have them, great, it's fun. I do have a few of these and I think I'm really lucky to have those. But you can use popsicle sticks with the wood tools. Cracking a popsicle stick in half and creating that rough edge is a great tool for scraping and doing joining kind of activities. The credit cards serve as the little rib wooden tools where you can smooth out your clay. I have used paper clips unfolded and using pipe cleaners to create the ribbon and wire type tools. So lots of ideas out there, and just we are all creative to come up with a way that we can economically create tools for our clay boxes. The next section, I'm going to share a video that I pre-recorded, and it has the culmination of my 15 years of finally getting it together with the clay tools. So I'm going to play this video and you guys can check this out and see. I did find this storage idea online somewhere, but I'll let the video play and explain what's going on. All right, I'm back. This is how I store my clay tools, and this is not my own original idea. However, I found it on a blog, and I would love to cite the wonderful art teacher who came up with this idea. So if any of you out there know who it is, shoot me a note so I can give her credit for it, or him. I can't remember what it was. But one year I just got super lucky with donations in the art room, and I managed to get these boxes. They are from a craft store, and they have divided centers in them. Yes, this is a little pricier, but I'm going to start by showing you this, and then I'll backtrack and suggest other ways that you can use this as well. So let me set this down, and I will zoom in on this and show you the contents. What I do is I make one of these boxes for every table. So I have 8 tables, so every box has a set. I love these because these handles, they're easy for the kids to open and close. They have a lift out tray, and I just put in here the things I use. Specific tools for cutting circles, popsicle sticks. I've got lids from markers, wood tools, toothbrushes, combs, and all the little gadgety things. I love to use palette knives to join pieces of clay, and all of this stuff goes in this section. One of the things I do with the kids is I make sure they understand the clay tools need to be put back clean. Not hygienically perfectly clean, because there's still going to be clay on it, but no blobs of clay. I also include a photograph on my panel, and the kids can see how this stuff gets put away. All right, then down below, it's a little deeper, and I just fill it with the things that I normally use. In my case, I have these old cans. I have some rolling pins. What I do, and I have found over the years, the best thing is one piece of canvas for each kid. I was doing it on the whole table, and it just gets really, really dusty and really messy. So if every student has their own canvas, we can go out at the end of the day and shake these out. In between classes, I mist them and I spray a little water on them so that they're a little bit damp, and it helps with the dust control in the classroom. But I get the ones that have the plastic backing. So it's the paint or drop cloths. And then I just cut them down to, I think these are 18 by 18 or 16 by 16. So whatever size works for whatever tables you have. And again, the kids know that these things need to be put away like this, and clean and tidy. One thing I do, if you don't have these rolling pins, I found they were donated, but you can just get dowel rods at the local hardware store. And oftentimes they're nice enough to cut them for you. Sometimes in the back they have the saws, and you can just use a handsaw and cut these guys. But these have held up really well. So in a 4-foot pole, you can get 4 dowel rods for like $6. That was the price the last time I looked. These are the cones for the yarn, but really anything that works for you that you can keep on hand. I keep everything in the box. The box just gets put right back together like this, and it's stored and tucked away. Now, let me talk to you about some other things that you can do when you don't have these bins. All right, so if you don't have the bins, other options that I've done before I got these is I used shoe boxes. Those are free, and you can often get the photo boxes. A lot of times the craft stores have those on sale for a couple dollars. And then I just bag every item up like items in zippy bags. So for the little items, I would put all of my clay tools in one bag, maybe all of my popsicle sticks in another bag. So wooden tools, scraping tools. That way, you can also only give out certain tools to groups that are using it. For example, I wouldn't necessarily use these with kindergarten, so you might keep these separate from there. But that is pretty much it for our little blurb today on clay tools and organizing yourself with your clay notebooks and keeping track of things. I will talk to you in a little bit about using slabs, and I've got another video where I'm including resources for some art lessons and resources where you can go get help and look to other ideas. All right, guys, see you later. All right, so hopefully you found that useful. I was thinking after watching that, you were probably thinking, wow, that clay tub's really clean. It looks like it's never been used. And I will have to admit that I did wash it up and get it very clean and shiny before I filmed it. So they don't look like that after about the first 5 minutes of clay. So hopefully you picked up some good ideas from that. All right, so that is all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Before you go, if I could ask if you would share some of your most helpful clay tips related to either storage, tools, or the curriculum, and then post those responses in the discussion section. That way we can work to build even more ideas and help make our clay classes move along a little smoother. All right, guys, thanks for coming. I'll see you soon.